Okay. Uh, okay. Today's lecture on three-phase dual converters on power electronics. Before going to this, uh, what is meant by dual converter? What is meant by dual converter actually? Here we know that a converter is nothing but a device which converts supply of one supply system to another supply system. But we are consider that a converter is nothing but AC to DC. Okay, if you have any doubt about this, for example, I will tell an example. If you have any inverter in our homes, inverters, inversion, conversion has opposite meaning of inversion. Okay, nothing but we are calling as a conversion, converter, inverter. Okay, converter, we consider that AC to DC supply. Alternating current supply is converted to direct current supply is the converter, or is also called as a rectifier. Okay, so that's why inversion means opposite. So inverter, that is DC to AC. Direct current is converted to alternating current supply is nothing but the inverter. Okay, okay. Here, if you come across the dual converters, dual converter is nothing but two sides of operation can be done. Suppose if the motor is operating in a clockwise direction, if you go for any industry, if you go for any industry, if you observe any industry, the product manufacturing units, some of the product manufacturing units is also required counterclockwise direction, anti-clockwise. If the motor is rotating in a forward direction, therefore the motor is also, the load is also required to operate in a reverse direction also. That is, a clockwise motor can be rotated in a clockwise direction and also the counterclockwise direction. Okay, here, so the motor is rotating in forward direction, that is called clockwise direction. This is one operation. Okay, one operation. Next one, the motor is again operating in the reverse direction or anti-clockwise operation. So this is the another operation. Nothing but we are getting the two operations. In these two operations, that is called as a, if you consider four quadrant operation, we consider. I'm telling about the two quadrant operation, but in place the two quadrant operation, there is also braking also, forward braking. Whenever the motor is operating, whenever the motor, example is to be a lift. If you if you imagine a lift example application, the lift is moving upwards and also the downstairs, upstairs and also the downstairs, the ground floor, it is moving. Therefore, the motor is operating like this means the motor can be operate on the four quadrant operation. Okay, here if you go for whenever the lift is operating in a moving towards the upstairs from ground floor to upstairs, therefore there is a forward direction of the motoring, forward direction. Okay, and it is going towards the top of the floor upstairs. And next one, it is again reaching towards the ground floor, means that is to be reverse operation. Okay, this is the main example, best example for the lift. Lift or hoist is also called hoist. Some of hoist is also there. The more heavy loads are moving upwards and also downwards. Okay, here if you go for the dual converters, introduction towards the dual converters, then I go for the three-phase dual converter. Dual converters, if you consider semi-converters or single quadrant operation converters, semi-converters, half wave, half wave converters, we discussed also, three-phase half wave converter. These semi-converters are single quadrant converters. There is a possibility of operating that application or loads on single quadrant only. Okay, single quadrant. Just then we call it as a first quadrant of operation. First quadrant. We actually having that four quadrants. First quadrant to fourth quadrant. First quadrant is in motoring operation, forward motoring. And second is nothing but the reverse motoring. Third is the reverse braking. Fourth is the forward braking. Okay, so semi-converters are single quadrant converters that may operate in a forward motoring operation. Semi-converters are the single quadrant converters. They operate in a forward motoring operation. Here, the single quadrant converters that over the entire firing angle range and the load voltage and current have only one polarity. Okay, if you observe here, I will show that four quadrant operation. Now, this is the, if you observe, this is the four quadrant operation. Okay, converter 1, it is the rectifying alpha 1 greater less than 90 degrees. Alpha 1 less than 90 degrees. This is nothing but the rectifying mode of operation that comes under forward motoring also. If you operate any motor, that motor requires the DC supply voltage. So this is called the first quadrant. So I naught is positive and also V naught is also positive. Output current and also the output voltages are positive at this quadrant, first quadrant. This is first quadrant. Okay, this is nothing but the semi converters are operating. This is single quadrant operation. Okay, converter operation. Next one, the positive voltage and current of the semi converter indicating rectification mode and the power flow from AC source to the DC load. In this region, I am telling in this region, the power is moving from source towards the load. The source is having that AC supply voltage. The source is giving that AC supply voltage, and by rectifying with alpha less than 90 degrees angle, firing angle, the output is to be DC. Therefore, the load is getting the DC supply. Okay, the DC supply. This in this region. Okay, next one, in full converters. Before that, we are discussing about the semi converters. Now, full converters. Full converters means the direction of current cannot reverse because of the unidirectional properties of the converter operates as a rectifier in first quadrant. Okay, and from alpha is equal to 0 to 90 degrees, if you come across an inverter in this region, in this diagram, first converter 1 is operating, that is a rectifying mode, alpha 1 less than 90. Whenever alpha 1 greater than 90, that it should be operating under inverting. Here, what should be happen means, for full converters, there is a possible to get the two quadrant operation. That is, half converters or semi converters are operate in a single quadrant operation, and full converters are operate in a two quadrant operation. That is nothing but the introduction towards the dual converters. Here, if you come across this, in the first quadrant, power flows from AC source to the DC load. Here, I am showing here. I will show the with a highlighter. Here, if you observe, this is the first quadrant operation. In this region, in this operating region, here the power flows from AC source to the DC load. Okay, but in the fourth quadrant, power flows from DC circuit to the AC circuit. That is called inverting. This is converting and this is the inverting mode. Under inverting mode operation, if you consider negative voltage is to be getting, that is minus VDC. Here we observe that minus VDC. That is, when will be the supply voltage can be getting reverse polarity, getting the polarity change here under inverting mode of operation. That is, by using of a full converters, there is a possibility of a two quadrant operation. One is the rectifying mode of operation and one is the inverting mode of operation. But in this mode of operation, the power flows from fourth quadrant. Power flow from DC circuit towards the AC source, that is giving towards the supply side. Okay, but in case of four quadrant operation, if you observe complete four quadrant operation, This is the second quadrant operation. Second quadrant operation, alpha 2 value greater than 90 degrees. This is nothing but the inverting. Here we are using two converters. We are using two converters. Okay, by using of these two converters, we are getting that inverting and also the rectifying operations. Inverting and also rectifying operations with a firing angle value changing, that is alpha 2 less than 90 and alpha 2 greater than 90. Alpha 2 is nothing but the firing angle for the converter's two circuit, second circuit, and alpha 1 is the firing angle for the converter first circuit. Nothing but we are using two circuits. We are using two circuits for operating that any system. Okay, so if you observe in four quadrant operation, without any changeover of mechanical switch, without any mechanical changeover switch, two full converters can be connected back to the load circuit. Okay, I will show this within a circuit. Yes, this is the circuit. This is the circuit for dual converters of a three-phase supply. Here, if you observe, this is the converter 1. This is the converter 1. This is the converter 1. And this is the converter 2. Okay, this is converter 1, first circuit, converter 1. We consider that converter 1 and converter 2. This is the converter 2. Okay, converter 1 and converter 2. Here, I previously explained about the dual converters in introduction. With using of a semi-converter, there is a possibility of a quadrant 1 operation. By using of the full converters, there is a possibility of operation first quadrant and also the fourth quadrant. That is a two quadrant mode of operation, two quadrant region operation. Okay, two quadrant region operation is possible for full converter. Okay, but here full converter means if you have any doubt, full converter about the full converter is by removing this circuit, converter 2 circuit can be removed. If suppose if you totally remove the converter 2 circuit only by placing of load and only by using of the 6 thyristor switches and the three-phase supply, this is a full converter. Okay, full converter. That converter 1 directly consisting of full converter operation and is operating on the region of two quadrant, first quadrant and fourth quadrant, that is rectifying and also the inverting mode. Next one, now by attaching another converter circuit in parallel with the converter 1 circuit, therefore we possibly getting the dual converter operation. Okay, that is in quadrant 4, in case four quadrant operation is required without any mechanical switch. We are not using any mechanical switch here. Why? Because what is the requirement of the mechanical? If you have any doubt also, what is the requirement of the mechanical switch? What is the application of that mechanical switch? Here, the mechanical switch is to be applicable for to change over the supply system. But here, we doesn't require any changeover switch. We directly connecting this by you choosing that converter 1 circuit and also the converter 2 circuit, but the converter 2 circuit has been placed that switches with respect to an anti-parallel connection towards the converter 1 circuit. Okay, the direction of the switches should be connected, should be different. There are two functional modes of dual converter operations. One is a non-circulating current mode and other is a circulating current mode of operation. We're having that by using of this. Now we are considering the three-phase dual converters. We are discussing about these three-phase dual converters. The three-phase dual converters operating for four quadrant operation. That is, for four quadrant operation in many industrial variable speed DC drives, three-phase dual converters are used. Okay, we also observed one video. On that video, an induction motor is running with a forward direction, also the reverse direction. If you remind that, I explained nothing but one video has been played by me of the induction motors. That is induction motors. Okay, the application is required that with a high torque value. Okay, that is sudden stop and sudden start. Suddenly starting, the torque is requirement is to be very high. Therefore, the motor is always giving the requirement of the torque value towards the load, and by at the time of the starting initially. Okay, that is the induction motor. Some induction motors are also there. Okay, if you remind about the video, that is a start, stop, and also forward direction of rotating and also reverse direction of rotating is also we observed about that video. Okay, same as that. So many of the industrial applications, industrials, they require variable speed DC drives, variable speed. Therefore, under this category, three-phase dual converters are used for applications up to 2 megawatt output power level also. Used for applications of up to 2 megawatt output power level. Here, dual converter consists of two three-phase full converters which are connected in parallel and in opposite directions across a common load. Now, if you observe the circuit, this is the converter 1 circuit with the 6 thyristor switches, and also converter 2 circuit 6 thyristor switches. In the middle of the connection, we connected a load. In the middle of the two circuits, we connected a load, a general load. This is general load. Okay, and we're having two functional modes of operations. That is, one is non-circulating mode, so non-circulating current mode, and another one is the circulating current mode. In a non-circulating type of dual converters, here using full converter, full converter, and for if you come across this, these full converter that operate in first and fourth quadrants. Suppose here, if you are operating this converter one circuit, this circuit can produce operate at regions of first quadrant and fourth quadrant. If you observe about the four quadrant operations diagram, first quadrant and fourth quadrant can be possible by using of converter one operation, and by using of the converter two operation, therefore there is a possibility of second and also third quadrant operations. Okay, second and third quadrant operation. Thereby, the total four quadrant operations is possible by using of this dual converter. Okay, and next one, before going to the practical dual converter, we just discuss about the ideal dual converters. Here, always we discussed if you any going towards discussing about the practical one, before that we discuss compulsory that ideal one, ideal dual converter. Here we are assuming that the dual converter consisting of ideal converters two ideal converters, and that there is no ripple in their output voltage. Actually, if you observe in practical, there is a ripple content within the magnitude of the voltage, output voltage. That is here, if you observe here, the voltage across the output side, the voltage across this here, across the load circuit, compulsory there is a ripple content. If you observe here on the next diagram, here the output voltage, this is supply voltage. If you observe here, the output voltage that is having the ripple content within the circuit. Ripple content within the circuit. Here, this is for converter 1 operation. This is for converter 1, output voltage V01. V01 is nothing but the converter 1 operation. Next, this is the converter 2, V02 minus V02. This is for converter 2 operation. And resultant is to be V01 plus V02. Resultant is V01 plus V02. That is, by operating converter 1, we are getting the positive side. That is, positive side means we are getting that V01 is a positive. So we are getting that magnitude is a positive side. If we come across this here, the voltage is to be positive, but in a reverse mode. and by combining these two, we are getting the resultant voltage is to be V01 plus V02. V01 plus V02. Here, yeah, here if you come across this dual converter, it can be represented by an equivalent circuit. It can be represented by an equivalent circuit. I will explain that. What is the equivalent circuit? Here, the equivalent circuit here, we consider that as with a output voltage V01, output voltage V01, and also okay, this is the load, and this is the diode D1. I am showing that with the equivalent circuit manner. That is circuit 1 or having the switches diode D1 and dual converter 1, dual converter 2, not a diode. It is a dual converter 1 and dual converter 2, and this is nothing but the V01 value. V01 is what is meant that average output voltage which we are getting from converter 1 circuit, and this is the V02 value. Okay, V01 and V02 value, and we are also having that, that is nothing but this is completely converter 1 output voltage. This is the nothing but here if you consider V01 value, V01, this is the converter 1 output voltage and this is the converter 2 output voltage. Okay, please observe V01 having that average output voltage getting from the three phase converter 1 circuit, and converter 2 circuit is the V02 value. So I'm shown like this. This is nothing but the equivalent circuit of the dual converter, three phase dual converter. Here represented with as a diodes are also dual converter switches. Here the firing angles of the both the converters are controlled in such a manner that there is average output voltage are equal in magnitude and have the same polarity. Okay, here if you observe the firing angles are having, we are having 6 thyristor switches. For the 6 thyristor switches, we are having that firing angles also. Firing nothing but firing circuits are there. With respect to the firing circuits, we are providing the firing angles for all the 6 switches. Okay, for the converter 1 circuit and also the converter 2 circuits. Here, the firing angles of the both the converters are controlled in such a manner that their average output voltages are equal in magnitude and have the same polarity. Same polarity. Okay, it can be happen only if the one converter is operating as a rectifier and other one is an inverter. Okay, if you show here, this is the converter one circuit is operating under the region of rectifying mode of operation. Converter two circuit is operating under the region of operating mode of inverting mode. Okay, inverting mode. So that's why there, if there is any connection to identification of the converter switches and also the inverter switches means this one. The converter switches are drawn like this, and the inverter switches are drawn like this. That is anti-parallel towards the normal converter one circuit. Okay, that is converter one. Okay, here the average output voltage for both the three-phase converters, actually three-phase converters are in the form of V01 is equal to Vm cos alpha 1, V02 is equal to Vm cos alpha 2, that is cos of omega t minus 120, omega t minus 240, like that. Okay, but if you consider normal operation, the output voltage is V01 of the converter 1 has upper positive and lower negative voltage polarities. lower negative polarities, and output voltages of a V02 converter. This is the V02 converter has upper negative and lower positive polarities. Upper negative. Here, if you observe, I am telling about this one. The V01 is having positive here and negative here. V02 is having positive here and negative here. That is nothing but, if you observe, the current directions are not changing here. The current direction is to be same. But what about the what is changing means voltage polarity. The voltage polarity can be changing. Okay, so how the graph should be? If you observe how the graph for in practical for a dual converter, here I will show here. For rectification and also the inversion mode of operation, how the I'm telling about the ideal dual converter. Okay, next one. Actually, this is the okay. This is the V01 value, V01, and this is the V02 value. The converter output voltages can be changed, V01 and V02 values. Here from 0 degrees to 180 degree, okay, sorry, 90 degree, and it is the 180 degrees. Up to 180 we consider 0 to 180. Okay, here the dotted lines which are shown with dotted lines are nothing but the inversion mode of operation, and the solid lines which are shown here in the upper waveform, that is the rectification. Okay, dotted lines which are shown here is the inversion, rectification and inversion mode of operations. Okay, this is nothing but the ideal dual converter. And next one, if you observe the in practical, if you observe in practical dual converters, here the dual converters in practical, those are controlled, the firing angle are controlled in a manner that alpha 1 plus alpha 2 is equal to 180 degrees. Alpha 1 plus alpha 2 values are completely equals to 180 degrees. How it I will show here. Here that is alpha 1 is to be 90 degrees. Okay, here also alpha 1 is 90 degrees. And here that alpha 2 shows that with a complete 180 degrees. That is nothing but the firing angles controlled in a manner that alpha 1 plus alpha 2, firing angle of the converter 1 circuit and firing angle of the converter 2, alpha 1 plus alpha 2 is a common, is combinedly gives the 180 degrees value. And with both the converters in operation, the average output voltages are equal and have the same polarity. Average output voltages are equal means average, if you observe here, the average output voltages are equal, V01 here. This is the V01, V02 value. That is nothing but the magnitude of the average output voltage is getting positive only. The polarity should be positive, but what should be happen here with respect to that converter 1 and converter 2 operations, we are getting the average output voltage should be same, having the same polarity. Okay, next one here, if you come across the inverter mode of operation, that is converter 2 circuit, the firing angle is to be 180 degrees minus alpha 1. This is that is V02. This is the inverting mode. 180 pi minus alpha 1. 180 minus alpha 1. This is the firing angle. Okay. Next one, their average output voltages are equal and their instantaneous voltage V01 and V02 are out of phase in the practical dual converter. Out of phase. Both are out of phase. Okay, and this results in the voltage difference when the two converters are interconnected, and as a consequence, a large circulating current flows between two converters, but not through the load. Here, what I am telling is, what about the supply we are giving here? That is Vs we are supply giving. Here giving 440 volts, here giving 440 volts. Here, both the for supply which we are giving towards the circuit is to be out of phase each other. If you observe, if you compare both converter 1 circuit and converter 2 circuit, those are out of phase. Okay, but what about the output voltage across the load? That is not changing. That is not changing. I am telling about that. Okay, therefore, if there any change, if there is any change, therefore there is a possibility to flow a circulating current within the circuits. Circulating currents are possible to flow in the circuit. Okay, why? Because this results in voltage difference when two converters are interconnected. As a consequence, voltage difference, V naught 1 and V naught 2 having a difference. Suppose I am actually telling about that VR is equal to V naught 1 plus V naught 2. Okay, V naught 1 magnitude and V naught 2 magnitude having the same values. If the magnitude difference, if you observe here, the magnitude difference is occur, therefore the resultant voltage is changes. V naught 1 minus of V naught 2 is possible. That is, either V naught 1 is greater than either, or V naught 2 is greater, having the greater value. That is nothing but the difference. Whenever the difference is occur, suppose whenever the difference is occur, therefore there is a possibility of circulating current to flow within the two converters. Therefore, this is possible only within the converter circuit only, not in the load. The circulating current can be flow within the converter circuits only, not in the towards the load. Okay. So in practical dual converters, this circulating current is limited to a lower value by inserting a reactor. By inserting a reactor. This is nothing but by inserting a reactor. Here, I am placing a reactor towards the converter 1 circuit and also the converter 2 circuits. With respect to by using of these reactors in series with the load, therefore, the circulating current, there is a change. In practical, there is a voltage difference was occurring in between the converter 1 circuit and also converter 2 circuits. So, there is a possible to getting current flow, circulating current will be flowing in the circuits. So, to eliminate these values, or not to completely eliminate, but can be lower the value, we can decrease the value, current level, circulating current value, that it can be possible by using a reactors here, by you placing the reactors in series with the load circuits of the converter circuits. Therefore there is a possibility to lower the decrease the circulating currents. And we discussed about this. The dual converters are having that two current modes of operation, two functional modes of operation. That is dual converter without circulating current mode and dual converter with circulating current mode. First we go through the dual converter without circulating current mode. Here, with the non-circulating current mode, without circulating current or with the non-circulating current, they both are same. With the non-circulating current dual converter, only one converter is in operation at a time, and it alone carries the entire load current. Okay, what I am telling is here, in the without circulating current mode of operation, only one converter is operating. Only one converter is operating. Another converter is not operating. It should be in a stop position. Okay, not operating position. So it is permanently, even it is disconnected. So here nothing but we are not giving the supply towards the this circuit, converter 2 circuit. We are giving supply towards the converter 1 circuit only. Converter 1 circuit only. This is nothing but the dual converter without circulating current mode of operation. Here in this operation at a time, it alone carries the entire load by a single circuit. This is the circuit which carries the load. Okay, and here, this converter receives the firing pulses from the trigger control. Here, only six thyristors are operating. With respect to the six thyristors, the six gate pulses or firing pulses are given towards the each thyristor of T1 to T6 thyristors, and these are receives the triggering signals, and the converter is blocked from conduction Actually, this is achieved by removing the firing pulses from the converter. Here, only one converter is in operation at a time, whereas the other converter is in ideal condition. Here, in this circuit of in this operation mode, dual converter without circulating current mode of operation, only one converter is operating, and the remaining another converter is in ideal condition. Here, while operating this converter, suppose, and this is supplying towards the load, current towards the load. Here, for blocking the converter 1, suppose, for blocking the converter 1 and switching on the converter 2, suppose. First, firing pulses to the converter 1 circuit are immediately removed, nothing but while converter 1 is operating and converter 2 is ideal condition. Here, converter 1 is operating. At the next time, you have to operate the converter 2, suppose. So, converter 1 can be stopped by giving the triggering signals, triggering pulses, and converter 2 is giving the triggering signals. Thereby, the converter 2 can be operating. Here, here converter 2 is operating here. At this time, converter 1 becomes ideal condition. Ideal. Okay. There is no operating in this converter 1 circuit. Okay. Next, here, compulsory you have to ensure that during changeover from converter 1 to converter 2, suppose first converter to converter 1 circuit to converter 2 circuit, we are changing towards this operation, the load current must to decay to zero initially while changing this operation. Here, this outgoing converter has stopped conducting a delay time of 10 to 20 milliseconds. This is the before firing pulses are applied to switch on the incoming converter. This is the not the required to us. This is the dual converter operation of without circulating current mode of operation. Okay, in the next class, I will go explain through the with the circulating current mode of operation. We having the classifications of dual converters, functional mode of classifications of dual converters. Those are dual converter without circulating current and a dual converter with circulating current. In the next class, I will explain about the dual converter with circulating current. Okay, thank you.